Shalom, alchemists, Rakam, Napash, GMS London, giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and honors out there to the brethren and the Haris and Baris teaching this truth in all sincerity. Okay, got another lesson for you guys, man. Okay, this one's going to be entitled roughly prove that the Edomites, are the so-called white man, through tracing accounts in the scriptures, related them to the Greeks and the Greeks and the Romans and all that kind of stuff, man. But yeah, we're gonna go through the scriptures and trace these motherfuckers, these damn devils, man. So we're gonna start off here in Genesis chapter 25 and verse 23, right? It says, "And the Lord said unto her, the two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the young." Okay, so this is the prophecy about the birth of Esau and Jacob. Okay, the Lord was explaining that two different nations were going to come from her. Okay, and that there were two different people, and that the elder was going to serve the younger. Okay, the younger being Jacob. Okay, who was later dubbed Israel. Okay, the Lord's chosen people. Okay, Esau, was cast aside. Okay, and he became the wicked. Okay, in the scriptures. Okay, but the it shows here the differentiation between the two. All right. It says verse 24, "And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau." Okay, so Esau is known as red. Edom means red. Okay, which might look something like this, maybe redder, who knows? But what point of the matter is, man, he looked different to his brother Jacob, which was like unto them, which was a colored child, man, brown child. Okay, Esau come out red all over because he lacked the pigmentation. Okay, he was underbaked. Okay, Slakia, 1 second. Yeah, Slakia about that, man. Yeah, I was just saying, man, that Esau was born red all over, man, like this baby here that you got here, man. And just a quick information on that, it's got red skin. Getting this baby frequently asked questions, shit, right? It says parents and grandparents are often asked if it's okay that their new baby turns beet red sometimes, and they say, yeah, that's fine. At least it proves your baby's alive, but it also proves that your child has a fucking skin condition, man, where he has no pigment. Okay, he's exposed and is sensitive to the sun. Okay, which is an issue. Okay, but yeah, he was born red all over. Okay, his brother Jacob, his younger brother, came out normal, which is the scripture here is gonna indicate, right? This is verse 26, "And after that came his brother out, and they mentioned nothing." He looked just like his parents. Okay, dark skinned, brown skinned men, colored men or people, right? Says, "And his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him." Okay, so there's the first indication of Esau. He's red all over. He's a so-called white man. Okay, that's basically what he is. Okay, so-called white people lack pigmentation. Okay, when they get hot and they get flustered and shit, they turn red. Okay, because their skin is translucent. You see the blood vessels through their skin. Okay, a black person or so-called black person, doesn't react the same way. Okay, he's protected by his pigment. Okay, don't get sunburn and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, right. I'm gonna jump to Genesis 36. Okay, so that was the first indication of Esau. So Genesis 36. All right, it says, "Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir." Esau is Edom. Okay, so they're synonymous. And whenever you hear about, Seir or Idumea, okay, they're all references to Esau, okay, who is Edom. Okay, so, "And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in Mount Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons, Esau's sons, Eliphaz the son of Ada, the wife of Esau, Reuel the son of Bashemeth, the wife of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman. Okay, Teman is another reference to Esau in general. Okay, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. Okay, we're going to focus on this tribe of Esau, Amalek. Okay, because these have more records in the scriptures. Okay, so Amalek is a family, a tribe of Esau. Okay, the pigmentless race. Okay, the red race. Okay, so we're going to concentrate on Amalek. Now, Amalek. Okay, and it's funny, you know, because you got the pictures of these gutter rat Jews, man, that these imposters that say they're Jews. Okay, but you know they got this image for Amalek. But you see down here it says Amalek is a nation described in the Old Testament of the Bible. The name Amalek can refer to nation's founder, a grandson of Esau. His descendants, the Amalekites, or the territories of Amalek, which they inhabited. Okay, so like I said, they're a tribe, they're a family of Esau. Okay, see what images they got off of Amalek, man. But basically, Amalek are so-called white people. Okay, just like Esau is. Okay, but anyhow, right. It goes on to say, and this is Exodus chapter 17, verse 14, right? It says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under the heaven." So the Lord was going to promising that he was going to destroy Amalek at some point. He's going to destroy Amalek at some point. Okay, he's going to utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek under heaven. Okay, that time is not yet. Okay, not even at the point, you know, not even to this current day is Amalek been put out yet. Okay, but at the point of this writing in Exodus, you know, that doesn't occur, and it still hasn't occurred. Okay, so most I don't like Amalek. Okay, of Esau. Mosai even said he hated Esau as a whole. Okay, that's why the whole family of Esau is going to be non-existent. Okay, but he hates out of all Esau, mostly the Amalekites. Okay, it says verse 15. It says that Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah-Nissi. For he said, because the Lord have sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Okay, a grudge forever. He's gonna be at war with Amalek from generation to generation forever. Okay, until they're no longer. Okay, so yeah, most I don't like Amalek. Okay, and this is a theme. Most I don't like Esau in full stop. Okay. But moving on, right? It says, this is 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 8. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites. Okay, we notice we're skipping books and timelines and stuff, right? We're fast forwarding to this time. Okay, with time of King Saul. Right, so he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. Okay, this is during the time of King Saul and Samuel, of course. Okay, so Agag is the king of the Amalekites at this point in time. Okay, so now we're gonna shift focus on Agag. Okay, we're gonna shift focus on Agag. Now, what have I got here for Agag? Right, it says Agag, Semitic name or title that applied to the biblical king. It has been suggested that Agag was a dynastic name of the kings of Amalek. Okay, confirmed, right? Just as Pharaoh was used as a dynastic name for the ancient Egyptians. Yeah, so Agag was a king of the Amalekites. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, you got any images? Well, it's a white person, I suppose it'll do. I don't know who this guy is, but yeah, I was looking for more ancient depictions, but never mind. Okay, he's an Edomite. Agag is an Edomite. You know, bottom line. Okay. Right. Next scripture. Okay, we're concentrating on Agag, the king of the Amalekites. Right. Esther chapter 3 verse 10 says, "And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Jews' enemy." Now, an Agagite is a descendant of Agag. Okay, that's what an Agagite is, a descendant of Agag, and which is an Amalekite. So, in a sense, in effect, Haman is an Amalekite. Is an Edomite. Okay. Now, this being the time of Esther, of course. Okay, and Haman tried to get all the Jews exterminated. Why? Because his families and that were destroyed by King Saul and Samuel. Okay, revenge. That's what it was. That's why he had the grudge against the Israelites. Why he tried to get them all killed. All right. So yeah, he wanted revenge. So he's an Amalekite, the Jews' enemy. Well, we read it in the Most High got war with Amalek from generation to generation. Okay, that's just, you know, it being being done over again. Okay. Now, if you go to the additions to Esther, or in the Apocrypha, the book of Esther, chapter 16 and verse 10 says this. It says, "For Aman, which is Haman, a Macedonian, the son of Amaphda," okay, which is same as Hamaphda. Okay, they say that Aman or Haman is a Macedonian. Okay, that he is a Macedonian. On this side, okay, not much information here. Let me quickly open this. All right, it says Haman, also known Haman the Agagite, or Haman the Evil, the main antagonist in the book of Esther, who, according to the Hebrew Bible, was the vizier in the Persian Empire under King Ahasuerus, traditionally identified as Xerxes. As his name indicates, Haman was a descendant of Agag, the king of the Amalekites, a people who were wiped out in certain areas by King Saul and David. Okay, but that doesn't mean the whole Esau is destroyed. Okay, just certain families. Okay, and obviously some of them still exist, they still survived. Okay, so there's confirmation that Haman is an Amalekite of the nation of Esau. Okay, but he's also referred to as a Macedonian. Okay, so we're going to shift the focus on the term Macedonian, because Macedonian is also mentioned elsewhere in the scriptures. Okay, which leads me to King Philip of Macedon. Okay, this will be the point where history becomes more relevant to the more average people, let's put it, because people don't really know too much history before the Greeks, unless they're into the scriptures. Okay, Greeks and Romans and so on and so forth, because white people are really interested in their own fucking history, or unless they've hijacked somebody else's history. Okay, so we're gonna get into the time of the Greeks now. Okay, right. So for Aman, a Persian, the son of Amaphda, being indeed a stranger from the Persians' blood, because he was an Edomite, and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received us. Okay, so yeah, Aman conferred an Amalekite, and a Macedonian, an Edomite. All right. Now, First Maccabees chapter 6 verse 1. Okay, from the Apocrypha. It says, about that time, King Antiochus, traveling through the high countries, heard say that Elmias in the country of Persia was a city greatly renowned for riches, silver, and gold, and that there was a very rich temple wherein were coverings of gold and breastplates and shields, which Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian king, who first reigned among the Grecians. Okay? Macedonian. Philip was the Macedonian king, who is a Grecian. He is a Greek, or a so-called Greek at least. You know, being that Esau stole the name and the identity of the original Greeks, which were the Japhetic people. Okay? They don't belong from that land or from that people. But just like everything else, man, Esau gets up in places and starts taking it for his own. Okay? That's why, you know, well, here, Esau would like to be called a South African now. You know, all this kind of bullshit. He takes all these turns upon himself and acts like he was always there. Okay, he's a great stealer of history and identities, because he's running away from his true identity, which is Esau, which is, you know, an enemy to the Most High, which is going to be destroyed. Okay, so he takes on all these other personas. Okay, but the point here is that Philip, the king of Macedon, is a Grecian. Okay, which also means Alexander, the so-called Great, is also a Grecian and an Edomite. Okay, in the grand scheme. Okay, going back, you know, to Amalekite, going back to Esau. Okay, so we're using the scripture to trace these abominations, man. Okay, to identify them and show you, man, that the so-called white man is who we say he is, man. He is Esau. He is the the family of which the Most High will bring wrath and judgment on. Okay, so yeah, Prince Philip II of Macedon was the king of ancient Greek kingdom of Macedon from 359 BC until his assassination in 336 BC. Okay, and his children were Alexander the Great. So there's the relation. Okay, there's a relation from Alexander all the way back to Esau. Okay, so Alexander the Great, just to get confirmation on that as well. Alright, Alexander III of Macedon, commonly known as Alexander the Great, was a king of the ancient Greek kingdom of Macedon and a member of the Argead dynasty. Okay, his father was Philip II of Macedon, so it's the same one. Okay, so these people that we know in history, Alexander the Greek, Prince Philip II of Macedon, they were all Edomites and all so-called white people. Okay, because the so-called white people descend from Esau. Okay, he is the red race on the planet. Okay, now just to add a few more scriptures into this, what we got next actually, Herod. Okay, just to add a few more scriptures into this, we've got here Joel chapter 3 verse 6. It says here, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the of the place where ye have sold them, and return your recompense upon your own head. Okay, we was sold unto the Grecians, unto the so-called white man. Okay, in the time of the Grecians, man. Okay, First Maccabees 8 and 18 says, and to entreat them that they would take the yoke from them, for they saw that the kingdom of the Grecians did oppress Israel with servitude. Okay, so just based off that, you got shit to pay for. Okay, we've not even got into the modern day shit that you've been getting up to, you know, and been doing against us, man. But for a long time, we go all the way back to the Amalekites. Your destruction and your judgment has been sealed. Okay, It's been sealed. Okay, but yeah, all these are Edomites. Okay, proven in the scriptures. These men are Edomites. Okay, and we're going to fast forward a little bit. I mean, because after Alexander died and his 4 generals were ruling his dominion, okay, the most notably Antiochus, or the Antiochus family, they were all Edomites, man. They were all Grecians, they were all Macedonians and whatever. Okay, they were all Edomites, Edomite rulership. Okay, Ptolemy, Seleucus, what was the other one? Antigonus. But yeah, man, these are all Edomite rulerships, man. Okay, and when it comes to the Grecians and Rome, they were the same. They were had that same spirit, man. Okay, because the Romans took upon themselves the ways of the Greeks. Okay, because there's not much difference between them spiritually. Okay, but I know historians talk about the differences between Greece and Rome, things that they did. But of course, there's going to be differences, different tribes. But the point is, spiritually, they all come from the same family. Okay, and that's why they co-opted in certain things. Okay, which leads me to Herod. Okay, because during the oppression under the Grecians, under Antiochus, okay, things were changing in Judea. Okay, Edomites were getting in places in power in Judea. Okay, which led to Herod being appointed king. Okay, but yeah, a lot of things were happening at the time, man. But you can read that in the book of Maccabees, in the with John Hyrcanus and the Hasmoneans and that. Okay, but Esau was getting up in power, so it allowed him to get certain political position, amongst Israel, man. Okay, but we're gonna jump into Matthew chapter 2, verse 16, right? It says, "Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceedingly wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem and all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men." Okay, this is Herod the Great, because there is more than one Herod in the scriptures. Okay, Herod the Great was the one that did this, who sent forth the wise men to scout to Yahweh Shai, who is Jesus. That was Herod the Great, and he is known as Herod the Idumean. Okay, which is another word for an Edomite. Okay, I can get a quick bit of information. All right. So also known as Herod the Great, or Herod the First, was a Roman client king of Judea. He was appointed king by Rome over Judea. Okay, referred to as the Herodian kingdom. The history of his legacy has polarized opinion. Yeah, he built the second temple and all that. Okay, but what I wanted is, alright, it says biography. It is generally accepted that Herod was born around 73 BCE in Idumea, south of Judea. However, some authors think that he was born in about 72, 71 BCE, wherever. He was the second son of Antipater the Idumean, a higher ranking official under the Ethnarch Hyrcanus II. Okay, and Cyprus and Nabatean. Herod's father was by descent an Edomite whose ancestors had converted to Judaism. Okay, and this is how Esau was getting up in power positions, because of their so-called conversion. But you can't convert to being a Jew. You have to be of the bloodline to be an Israelite. Okay, but these guys, they conform their way. They bow themselves down to our system, and you know, they integrated themselves. That's what happened. Okay, you can read the story. There's more to it, but you know, you can read the story about that in your own time. Okay, but my point is just to highlight these people as Edomites, man, and show you the links of these certain people all the way back to Esau, showing you that the so-called white man is Esau. All right, it says Herod was raised as a Jew, okay, but he was not one. Okay, so that means nothing. Okay, he was an Edomite. Okay, he was an Edomite. Now his son, which he called Herod, okay, was known as Herod Antipater, who was the one who had John beheaded. Okay, John the Baptist beheaded. Okay. All right, this is Matthew chapter 14, verse 1. It says, and at that time Herod the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Yahushua, for Herod, verse 3, for Herod had laid hold on John and bound him and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. Okay, so he just pointing out he was the one that had John the Baptist beheaded. Okay, but it was a different Herod. Okay, that was the son of Herod the Great. Okay, again, also an Idumean being of his father. Okay, raised up in you know, in the belief of the Jews. Okay, but he was not one himself. Okay, he was a ruler appointed by Rome, and the reason why Rome appointed him, because they're one and the same. They're of the same family ultimately. If you know, even if they're of different tribes, the Romans and the Grecians all stem back to Esau. And when I speak about the Romans and the Grecians, I mean, you know, when the so-called white man dubbed himself these things. Okay, because none of these things are originally his. Okay, he was not the original Romans, he's not the original Grecians. Okay, they're all but stolen history that Esau puts upon himself. Okay, but these tribes, these rulerships here, they're all Edomite rulerships. Okay, they're all Edomite rulerships. Okay, so you know, I'm gonna end that here. Unless I got what else I got here. See, for that anti-payers. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it here. Okay. If I get more information, you know, I might do an extra part to this. But yeah, it's a good place to stop. So yeah, like I said, man, just going through the scriptures, tracing up Esau's you know, progression in history. Okay, filtered by the scriptures, showing you that these men that are mentioned in history, okay, these so-called white rulerships, stem all the way back to Esau. Okay, Alexander, you know, the so-called great. And, you know, these are the guys that dubbed them great. You know, other Edomites. Okay, so, like I said, they were one and the same spirit. The Romans and the Greeks are the same spirit. Because they're of the same family. You know? But with that, brothers, I'm going to say shalom. And I'll catch you on the next video. Till next time, shalom.